Am I the a-hole for telling my sperm donor's parents that I have no interest in doing a good thing for them or their family? My sperm donor, or bio father if you must, walked out on my mom when she told him she was pregnant with me. Apparently a kid was not on his wish list of things for his life and he didn't want to be trapped at 26 with a baby. His family didn't care to stick around either. My mom did reach out a few times when I was young and was rebuffed each time. I grew up where we were not family and I did not know these people at all. Now I'm 21 and recently I was contacted by sperm donor's parents who wanted to let me know sperm donor had died. He was married, had two very tiny kids who are now orphaned. Apparently his wife died a few months before he did. His parents were now raising the children and had wanted me to attend the funeral and meet the kids. I told them neither offer interested me and to not reach out to me again. They didn't listen and they told me they had a lot of contact information from me thanks to their investigator, so I was going to listen. They told me I had a chance to do a good thing for them because we are family, but also for two young kids who in a few years' time will need someone else to raise them because their health isn't the best. They claimed I was their grandchildren's older sister and that was the best chance they had to have a loving family. I asked them why they believed I would want to know any of them when he was never a father to me and they had refused to know me despite apparently wanting to know all their other grandkids, because they mentioned their other grandchildren in one of the messages they sent. They started to say some bullshit about how I should love the kids for being half me. I blocked them on the spot and thought it would stop. But they emailed. I ignored the email. But then they called me and it was a call that came while I was waiting for a call. So I answered because I didn't have the number of the person who was meant to call and they started in on the whole family thing again and how I should be thankful to have siblings now. And again brought up how it would be a good thing for them and their family. Which is when I responded that I have no interest, zero, in doing a good thing for them or their family. I then ended the call and blocked the number. I got a letter saying I was turning into them and it bothered me. I don't want to be like them. But I can't say the kids of the man who abandoned me interest me either. But then I think about what I said to his parents and I know that might be like what they told my mom about us. So am I the a-hole?
Turning out like them. No, you are simply respecting their wishes from 2 decades ago, that they have no contact. I mean, you could offer them the same courtesy they extended to you, and offer to reach out in about 20 years from now. Seems fair. Now that they want something from you. They are flipping the script and twisting everything to see what sticks and see what elicits a response or makes you doubt yourself. This is called gaslighting. Get a new number, put the SIM card in an old phone, leave it on silent, on a charger somewhere in the basement. Let them call it to their little heart's content. Save the voicemails and texts. Set up a folder where emails from them automatically go to and you don't see them. Zero response from you. Set up new social media accounts under nicknames or aliases, and lock them down. Only add those you know well and trust. Remove every contact before you delete those accounts. These people will start contacting your friends and family to guilt you into bending to their will. Erase your digital footprint as much as you can, any photos or mentions of you online, take them down. Block any ability to tag you on social media. Now you are set up to collect evidence of harassment. Not hard to see where your sperm donor learned his behavior from. Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole one bit. Personally, I would have asked where my inheritance was from my deceased sperm donor before completely rejecting them, but that's not always everyone's priority. It might help them go away though to remind them that your sperm donor forgot about you one last time. Edit. Actually, now that I think about, wills are public record in most states. It might be worth pulling that up just to see what is said. The fact that wife passed and then sperm donor, there might actually be a worthwhile estate. Sometimes wills explicitly name beneficiaries and sometimes they simply state biological or adopted children. You easily may have accidentally been a beneficiary of your sperm donor's will. If you have the resources, it may be worth hiring a probate attorney to look into this for you. It really shouldn't be that expensive, but payoff could be.
Not the a-hole. Isn't it funny how people respond when they want something from you as opposed to when they don't? There's a reason their family isn't stepping up. It's likely that not one of them wants to be inconvenienced, so they want you to take them and are using the "but family" manipulation tactic to get their way. If you want to be in their lives, that is your choice and your choice alone. If you don't, you might consider getting a restraining order for stalking against these people, as it sounds like they won't be stopping anytime soon.
Am I the a-hole for reacting badly to a friend gifting me a sex toy? It was my birthday a couple weeks ago, and I had a few friends over at my place to celebrate. I didn't really expect gifts, but a couple people brought one, including one of my male friends. I didn't really want to open them right now and make a whole show out of it, but he insisted I opened his. Imagine my surprise when I pulled a comically big dildo out of the bag. I was just stunned and I could almost feel myself blushing. He said something about how I could now manage my crazy libido, something along those lines, and just started laughing like crazy. There were a few other awkward laughs around the room. I felt so fucking embarrassed, and the thing about my libido was just the cherry on top. My friends all know that my sexuality is a bit of a sore spot, mostly because I've been slut-shamed a lot ever since high school. Him literally handing me a sex toy and saying it was to control my crazy urges felt so fucking hurtful. I started tearing up and somehow gathered the confidence to tell him to leave. He looked surprised and confused, but he saw I meant it and he left. Obviously, the rest of the evening was pretty awkward after that. He texted me the next day to clear things up. He insisted he only meant it as a joke, and when I brought up the libido thing, he swore he didn't mean it that way. He argues I ruined the vibe by reacting badly to a stupid joke, and made him feel like an idiot when I asked him to leave. Now I'm kinda wondering if I overreacted and if I read too far into the joke.
Not the a-hole. There was nothing appropriate about that in the slightest. That was his gift to you. A giant, comical dildo. Followed by a subtle, not so subtle, slut-shaming comment. Haha. So funny. Ask him to explain what the joke part of that was. So what part of embarrassing me in front of my other friends was funny to you? Where was I supposed to laugh? When you called me a slut? What was funny about being insulted by someone I thought was a friend? This guy has issues around sexuality and he's taking them out on you. That's not okay. Keep him blocked a bit. A joke is supposed to be either funny enough that everyone laughs, or done in a way that all parties know it's funny. There was awkwardness all around. He fell so fucking short of the mark on that, and he's doubling down on blaming you. This was a "it's just a prank, bro" moment. It wasn't. It was bullying.
He ruined your entire birthday. Perhaps you should re-gift him an even bigger dildo to match how big an a-hole he is.
Even assuming that this guy had the best of intentions, that he honestly thought that the small gathering was a safe space where you would feel comfortable enough to see his gift as tongue-in-cheek and laugh, that all ends when he follows up with a text berating you for being hurt. If he had truly innocently read the room wrong, he would have felt terrible and apologized for humiliating you on your birthday. Instead, he's throwing it back on you. Not the a-hole, and probably call this guy from your friend group, or at least keep him at a distance.
Not the a-hole. You said you would open it later, but he was persistent. Your friend isn't really a friend. I'd recommend talking to your other friends that were there and ask them if you were okay with cutting that friend off. 'Cause I would never be friends with someone who made fun of something I was embarrassed about, and he knew all of this and still bought and persisted with the inappropriate gift.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.